What is up, everybody? Well, it looks a little different than the last time. It's gray now. Making progress. All right. Yesterday, I was able to get the epoxy primer sprayed on it and let it sit in here and flash off in the heat last night. I've got my green paint mixed up. I'm gonna get suited up and we'll make it green. That epoxy, PPG epoxy, is really good stuff. I really like this primer. It sprays nice and it's just good quality stuff.
Hopefully when you bring you back, we will have some green. Yay! Have a good day.
All right, I'm letting the booth clear out and I'm taking a quick break here. You might have noticed when I started spraying, I was bouncing around a lot, and you might have wondered if I was getting dry spots from not finishing like that frame rail all at once. The first pass, I just try to hose everything underneath in all the hard to reach spots, things that just need one coat, like under the cab and all that. And I use a slow hardener to give me a lot more time before it's drying or setting up, so it allows me to bounce around. But then the stuff that needs 2 coats of paint, you'll see me, I'll set you up again, but I'll continue a whole area, just continuously spray a whole area instead of bouncing all around to not get dry spots. Just like I haven't started spraying the important stuff like the cab or the fenders, because I just want to get everything that's not important but a pain in the ass to spray. I want to get it all covered. And then once all of this is taken care of, then I'll start on that stuff and the back of the cab and whatnot. But I mean, you pretty much got to just set the gun and hose paint up in areas like this, because There's just no way of getting in there. And that light I showed in the last video, the light I have on the end of my paint gun, man, that thing is a game changer to be able to see where you've been and where there's spots that you've missed. But I'm starting to get a little concerned that I'm not going to have enough paint. I've got a gallon and a quart, but I'm going to have to try to move fast on the rest of this stuff. There's no shame in taking a can of John Deere rattle can paint later on and just touching up spots that you couldn't get the paint gun into. It's no big deal. All right, I've made it all the way around. Everything's got one solid coat on it. I put 2 coats on all of this up in there. It's looking good. So I'm gonna let the heat build back up in here, run in and grab some lunch quick, and then we'll spray the final coat on it. I'll probably start like here and just work forward and work around. I don't know, we'll figure it out. All right, guys, we're gonna put the final coat on everything now. So I'll start like at the firewall and work my way around the tractor. Some of the stuff like that fuel tank, air filter housing, stuff up high on the engine, anything that's gonna get covered with tin work, I'm gonna go past it. I'm not gonna paint another coat on it because we're gonna be down to the wire on paint. So get started right here, and you'll see I got the gun with the light on it, but I'll have a light in my hand too, so I can look around quick and make sure I didn't miss any spots. She's done. That was a lot of paint spraying. I had just enough paint to where I was able to get 3 coats put on the cab and the fenders and everything on the back, and 2 coats on everything else. Frame. It looks good. Man, trying to get up in such a pain in the ass. I think I got everything. Painting these staircase steps sucks also, trying to get every different angle covered with paint. But we'll let her sit here in the shop in the heat for a couple days and let the paint cure, and we can start putting it all back together. All right, guys, it's been a day since I painted it. I just started unmasking it, and that's one of my favorite parts of a paint job, is taking all the masking tape back off. I can't help myself after I spray paint. I have to walk away, otherwise I'll start peeling masking tape off right away. Mrs. G gets super pissed at me when I do that. So I just started taking this off. Let's start peeling off the rest of this stuff. It's like opening a Christmas present to me. The paint turned out really nice. I really like how that shop line PPG, this was JAU acrylic urethane. I really like how it sprays. This time they told me at the paint shop to try spraying it without putting any reducer in it. They said a lot of the shops that they sell this paint to, they just put the hardener in. So this is the first time I sprayed it without thinning it at all, and yeah, it's way less watery. I liked how it sprayed better without thinner in it. One of you had asked me in the comments how this JAU compares to Omni or Delfleet. Delfleet's really good paint. That's what I sprayed the 190 Allison. Pretty sure Delfleet is it's not an acrylic urethane. I think it's I don't remember. I'd have to look at the jug, but the JAU, I believe, is it's maybe not quite as hard of a paint as Delfleet, but it's also more budget friendly too, and it's really good paint. So we're doing this tractor as much on a budget as possible, so that's why I went with the JAU. I also had somebody after last week's video comment and say they would like me to show how to change the seals on the door. Yeah, the door seals on these sound guard caps, they suck to get them glued in there, but I will show you guys. I'm excited to get this one done and moved out of here. We need to start working on some of the stuff that we need for spring. I've had a handful of people ask about the 8550 Alice. It's sitting in here around the corner. The only thing holding me back on the Alice project is funds. Money that it's going to take to fix all the mechanical issues and whatnot. But we we will. I don't know when. All right, I'm going to finish unwrapping my green Christmas present here. And then maybe we will I'll show you how to do the door seal. All right, as far as the door seal kit, the saga continues here with the issues on the cab serial number. In one of the earlier series, when we went to put the lower cab kit in, it was wrong. There was like 4 pieces that were wrong. So I talked to Shoop. Shoop talked to Fair. Fair sent me the correct pieces and a box for me to send back the ones that were wrong. And I said to Shoop, I go, I ordered all window seals and door seals at the same time. I go, there isn't a cab serial number issue with them, is there? And they said, no, it's the same, whether it's 4430, 4440, whatever. Well, I put all the window seals in, they were fine. Then I started laying out all these pieces for the door seals. And everything looked right until I got to this one. Top hinge side seal. That does not look anything like this one. This is just like a 4440. And in the instructions, it says for 30 series or for 40 series. Since this is a 77, the last year of 4430s, I'm guessing they made a change on the cabs at the very end when they're transferring into 4440s. And this happens to fall in that range. So I just got off the phone with Shoop again. They got to call Fair. So the door seal kit explanation is going to have to be on hold for the next video. But the ones from John Deere, just like the cab windows, they suck to put in. The ones from Fair are a lot better to install. But biggest thing is, let's show it. This seal comes in it. It's got a flat flap that glues against the door. You just gotta glue that and tape it and let it dry. And then up there, where the top seal meets this seal, Fair made a change compared to Deere. The Deere kit, there's like a nipple and it locks into this other seal and it never fits right. And it always wants to come undone. But the Fair one is supposedly supposed to be different. So that's that on the cab door. While I was on the phone with Shoop, I had put this plastic panel back in. I didn't like how it cleaned up and it's cracked, so I ordered a new panel for there. This whole cab needs to be cleaned out really good. It's got a bunch of sanding dust and whatnot in it. But the door handle, see how much play there is right there? So this square shaft gets rounded off and eventually it'll just spin round and round and it won't open the door. So I have a new door handle, but I forgot that this piece does not come with it. I thought it did. So I'm gonna have to take it apart, sand this piece and paint it black before I can put the new door handle on. Other goodies that we can do right now, got new wiper blades, I've got new bezels for the taillights, got new LED taillights. This emblem for the front of the fuel tank, I normally just tear it off and go get a new one from Deere, but the new ones from Deere are cheesy, they're plastic. Mrs. G taped all of this off and sprayed the black. She has a much more delicate touch of masking things off than I do, so that's awesome. Put that back on. Got a new block heater. New John Deere side mirror that goes up there. Let's put the block heater in. Alright guys, I got squirreled with, I started running the battery cables and I put the rear bezels and taillights in. You can see good, but see how that's all rounded, the doorknob. Once that rounds all the way around, it just spins in there. Alright. Block heater. You don't know how these work. This bolt pulls this tab in on the back side of the block. You gotta make sure you clock these the way the book says or the way the old one came out. Since this connector is up, I know that needs to be clocked at 12 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, I really don't want to screw my paint all up. That is not the correct way to use a panel clip remover. I know this. Scratching my paint up. Oh, she's starting to come out. Touch up on aisle 5. Yeah. It was leaking around the body of this, and I can see why. Take some emery cloth. Alright, got that all shined up good. Alright, I put some O-ring lube on there. Clock it at 12. Get your tab wiggled in there. You don't want to go bananas on this little bolt. Bad things happen if it breaks. Like that tang thing falling down in the block. They normally give you like some inch-pound torque to torque this to, but just snug it up. That's good. Cord. Do what you want, but I put some dielectric grease on it. Okay, that's tight. Now I can hook up this heater hose and we can put coolant back in it. Alright guys, I kind of just decided to put my head down and work and get after this thing, and I didn't film any of what I just did, but I'm going to show you what I did in the last day here and what we have left. After this video, there'll be one more video on this thing, and that's when we'll show you the finished, complete project. But what I have left to do is the AC compressor, split the pump coupler, put new pump coupler bushings and belts in, run the AC lines to there, but I'm going to do that in the other shop because that's where all my AC machine and everything is. So I did everything to be able to move it over there. Put the front rims and tires back on. We put the toolbox back on. Mrs. G painted that real nice. Filled it back with coolant. Ran the battery cables. Put the batteries back in. This cover stays off to be able to route those hard AC lines. I put that mirror, factory mirror, back on. I put that extendable K&M mirror kit on. New door handle. Works way better. I talked to Shoop, and then Shoop had me talk to Fair cab kits. This is different, man. It's a late last year of the 4430s. The earlier ones, the seal actually went on the door, not on the ROPS. So this is like a 4440. They're sending me that. I should have that today. So in the next video, I'll show how to replace the door seals. What else did we do? I put the new taillight bezels in and the new LED taillights. Put the third link back on. New SMV sign. The decals on the remotes. Put the dust covers back on. Battery boxes all back on. Even put a can of the good Cosby in the can in here, fresh one. Put the John Deere fuel tank emblem back on. I feel like I did more to it, but I don't know. It's ready to fire up and run out of here over into the other shop. And in the next video, we'll do the AC lines, we'll do the cab door seals, we'll do the sand and compressor conversion, we'll charge it all up. I still have to finish up the hood and put the decals on. We'll film putting the decals on and clean all the sanding dust out of the cab, detail the cab, wash this whole thing, slide the wheels back on 30s, and this project will be done. Alright guys, if you like it, please hit the sub button. Don't cost you a dime. Helps us out. Have a good one.